Hello and welcome to another Python tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to remove duplicates from a random list. In this case, we'll be using a list of numbers. This is another classic example of having a small piece of code that is actually very, very powerful. And this is what this channel is all about. We don't do sort of coding with sort of thousands of lines of code or even many hundreds of lines of code. It's all about the small, strong stuff. Small yet powerful. And here is a really great example. In the last tutorial I showed you, it was all about how to sort out a list of numbers going from smallest to highest, and please do check that out if you're very interested. It's all about the bubble sorting mechanism. And this time it's all about removing duplicates. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is we need to create ourselves a random list. And before we actually get really stuck into it, just to let you know, there are many different ways of doing this. And this is just based upon an example that I found online, and I've just modified it to make it work a little bit better. So what we have here is I've created a random list between numbers 1 and 9. And so hopefully, when we have our removal of duplicates, we will get a random number list between 1 and hopefully we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because all my duplicates have those numbers in there. This list has all those numbers in there. It's just multiple times. After that, we need to create our unique list, which is an empty list to start off with. So if you type in unique_list, and we just give it an empty list by just having an empty set of brackets. And then this function here is where the magic happens. So what we have to do is we first have to sort of initialize our function by typing in def, giving it a name, and passing through, in this case, the list we want to remove. So in this case, it is our list with duplicates. And we can give this any name. This is just sort of the name here, which we've sort of given it. Our actual list in question is a random list. And this is a really classic example of what you can do with functions. You just here have to specify, what you have to put in here as a parameter. And then when it comes to calling the function, you can just call the parameter name itself to get it running. So after you've done that, we can now, within this function, we can now start writing some useful pieces of code. In this case, it's a for loop with an if-else statement. So within our for loop, what we've done is we're going to select each item within our list of duplicates. And then within each item, we're basically going to say, if this item is already in the list, then we're just going to move on with the loop and have it running to the next value here. If it's not in the list, we're going to append that number, in this case, to the list, and then we're going to continue around. And that's going to keep going until the end of this list here. So let's just run through what happens here. So if we do like a print example, and we get rid of this print at the end here, we can then run this function with our random list name here, and we can check out the output. Let's actually exit. Clear our output before. Here. So notice that the final output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because those are the unique lists items here. And that makes sense when you look at here, where we have all of our values here between 1 and 9, and because it's quite a small, narrow selection, you can actually quickly deduce that there are values between 1 and 9 here. But if it was between 1 and a million, or 1 and 100,000, or 1 even 100, then it'd be much harder to determine, and that's when this function really does come into its own. Cool. So now we've established that it works, we can now use this in sort of our other pieces of code to come up with some really unique values. For example, if you wanted just to select the unique words in a piece of text for your sort of natural language processing, then this is a really great example of how you could just get the unique words, although there are sort of inbuilt functions that do that within the modules you'll probably be using. For example, the NLTK does that. Also, if you wanted to create a graph with unique values, this is a really great way of sort of basically clearing the noise and then putting in just the unique values. So it does have its uses, and those are just two that I've named very quickly. I didn't even prepare those examples. They're just straight off the top of my head. And so if you think about it a bit more, you probably come up with many more different examples of how this could be used. But a very small piece of code, and we're talking probably about 10 lines of code max. Really great, small, powerful piece of code. Exactly what this channel is about. So thank you very much for watching. Please do check out my other videos, and please do subscribe to my channel, and also follow my blog, or which is on WordPress, which is analystrising. And also, if you feel like you want to donate anything to contribute to this channel, please do go to my Patreon channel as well, and feel free to donate according to whatever tier you choose. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.